Oh, oh. Morning, Trainiacs. 40-minute hard open water swim just over there, and then a 1 hour on the nose run, 13.5K. That's my buddy Super Dave from Winburn, head coach of Winburn. He's on the radio right now. Today, how much do you need to run? For all different kinds of things. I got a good one teed up. Don't worry, we'll do that at home, so I'll have more clothes on. So all right, Trainiacs, tasty little 13.5K run there. Let's get into how often you should run. And this is gonna be iPadded up, screen shared, flowed, shot, recorded, high-tech stuff. So what I've laid out here on the top of the screen is a week, and we're gonna fill in an average training week. On the bottom of the screen, we've got a graph where on the y-axis, it's how much faster are you getting with the x-axis of number of runs per week. So if you're going from 0 runs a week to 1 run a week, the amount that you're going to be getting faster from the point that you're at now is immense. It's going to be very, very big and significant. And where I would put that run, if you can only do 1 run a week, it's going to be a Saturday or Sunday, and let's just call it Sunday run day, a long run on Sunday. Now, if you are extremely injury prone, you have a history of running injuries, you can change that long run to a long hike, to a really long walk. The idea is just to get an extended period of time building up to hopefully your race distance or about 20% more in that one chunk of time. And we're also going to put a line indicating how long it is. A second run a week, I would space far enough out from a week that it kind of slams itself in the middle of the remaining days. So somewhere on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, a Thursday, I would be doing a brick run, and that is where you are going from the bike to the run. And those 2 runs are going to be like your bread and butter. You're gonna get a lot faster with that because with the long run, you're increasing your body's ability to run for an extended period of time. With the brick run, in the case of triathlon, you're gonna overcome the single biggest tough few seconds that you're going to experience when you're going from the bike to the run, and that next 1 or 2 kilometers where you've got a really big opportunity to cramp up. If you can get over that, your entire run is going to be a lot quicker. And how long should that brick run be? That brick run can be fairly short. In my case, I do brick runs of only about 30 minutes. What if you can run 3 times a week? Well, in that case, what I'd be doing is I'd be moving that brick run and I'd be adding a very speed-focused run. So this is something like a track workout, a tempo workout. In our case, because we're really crunched for time, we've got to be super efficient if you're only doing 3 runs a week, I would be doing a speed-focused track run. And again, I would only make this a very short run, but the effect of it for this 3rd run, I think is going to be at kind of the pinnacle. Doing those 3 runs is going to accomplish a lot. Those 3 workouts is like the bread and butter of if you want to get fast, but you don't want to train a whole heck of a lot more, that's how you do it. Now in my case, I'm running 4 times a week, and in here, I'm adding a day somewhere around like a Wednesday, a Friday, a Monday, a Saturday. It doesn't really matter because in all these cases, it's not like I'm not spacing everything equally. But in my case, if I put a strength-focused run anywhere in any of these available days, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's not like I am taking away rest time otherwise. So in my case, what I'll end up doing is I will switch a brick run over to Saturday, and I will put the Tuesday run as a strength run. And a strength run is something like doing really kind of low intensity but really high value. So it's doing bounding strides, it's doing fast feet, it's doing little bits of hills. So it's not like it's going to be really long, really intense. It's just kind of quality. Now, how much faster is that going to make you here on the bottom graph? Really not much more than the third run. I should clarify that this getting faster is the difference between 0 and 1, the difference between 1 run and 2 runs, the difference between 2 runs and 3 runs. So what you can see is that the difference between 3 runs and 4 runs, it starts to wane. It's not like you're getting that much faster. And the same is going to happen as you start going down, that as you start adding workouts past about 3 runs, your return on investment isn't nearly as high, and that's why most age group triathletes should be running somewhere in that 1 to 3 or 4 runs a week. As a bonus here, because I've got a Saturday and Sunday brick run and then a run on Sunday, what I end up doing here, I can shorten up the amount of time that I'm spending on that long run on Sunday, because it's more at that point about how much time on your feet can you accumulate over the course of a week, not necessarily how much time do you accumulate in each run. So at that 4th run, you can kind of start backing off some of the other runs, so it's not quite so daunting. But at this point, you've got a huge amount of running at 4 runs. Sure, you can put in garbage miles on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. A lot of marathoners do that because it's like miles in the legs, miles in the legs. We got to condition the body to always, always, always be running. I think once you get past that 3rd run a week, you're not necessarily doing a whole heck of a lot much better for yourself. The only reason that I'm doing that is because I want to be able to shorten up that long run so that I'm not running on really tired legs with bad form, risking injury because I've been very injury prone with running over the past year. Now, how much do you need to run is actually probably a fairly easy question. Number one, how much time do you have available? And don't start running just because Taren says that you got to run 3 or 4 times a week. Run as much time as you can fit into your schedule. Number 2, look at how often you're running right now. If you're running 0 times right now, don't go to 3 or 4 times. Start with 1 time and then add a second, maybe a month or 2 later. And then the last thing to keep in mind with all this is listen to your body. A lot of pro triathletes, and this is talked about in podcast after podcast and article after article, are getting away from that notion of I have to run a lot to keep my running fitness fresh. So do the same for yourself. If you start running a whole heck of a lot and you just can't shake that feeling of being beat up, feeling little bits of niggles and tiny injuries, probably running a little bit too much, back it off and then slowly build up. Remember, it's more about quality and running well than it is running lots and running fast. What we're trying to do with your training here, that is a big thing that we are building into the Team Trainiac training platform. It's much less about going fast than it is about trying not to slow down. And you do that by running well and being strong, not just like running a whole lot. That's like the 80s. A lot of science has happened since the 80s. So there you go, Trainiacs. That is how much you should run. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. If you are subscribed and you're liking, I don't know, just life in general, hit the like button.